All right, so before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to Innova Auto for sending us their OBD2 scanner. This is their 5610 model. This is their top of the line scan tool that they have, and this is going to be huge for today's project. So what I basically want to share with you guys is that this thing can basically tell you what parts you need to fix your rig, the most likely, and then possible other solutions as well. So we'll get to all of that in just a little bit. Today we are going to be working on our friend's 03 Toyota Corolla. It's got 170,000 miles on this thing, and we're going to be troubleshooting the check engine light that came on again. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn on the ignition, and you guys can see that this check engine light is on. All right, so you can see my check engine light is on this Corolla. Now, to really take a full advantage of this 5610 and all the Innova products is you want to download this repair solution 2 on either your iPhone or your Android. And for this thing to work properly, you need to connect it and pair it with your scan tool. So let's go and do that real quick here. Let's go ahead and plug in our scan tool like so. Okay, we're going to go ahead and initiate the scan. And generally it pairs up really quick and easy. Okay, now once it connects to your device, it's going to give you this message here, success. Okay. And it's going to go scan through here real quick. It's pulling down the information from the ODB2 onto your tablet. And this is the Corolla. Okay, and then yes, odometer readings 170, 255, yes. And it's going to fetch the data and bring it onto a report. All right, now so let's go ahead and drill down into the code. It may be kind of hard to see on the camera or your phone, so I'm going to try to bring it a little bit closer. All right, so this is the exact same code we had a few months ago, P0171, which is the fuel system 2 lean on bank 1. So again, to resolve that, we replaced the air mass flow sensor and the downstream O2 sensor, and that fixed that issue. So now we have a new issue. It says most likely fix. Most likely fix is that replace the oxygen sensor. Okay, so on this particular car, there are 2. On yours could be more or less, or not less, there could be more. Most cars nowadays have 2, one upstream and one downstream minimum. My Range Rover, I think it has 4, maybe even 5. Okay, so here's what's cool. Now, it says here, here's the part that it needs right here. It's an oxygen sensor. It's $156.74, okay? That's about right. Oxygen sensors are not cheap. If you get an OE, that's about what you're going to pay. So if I go over here and click on parts detail, it's going to take me out to Amazon. Okay, let me turn this up a little bit here so you guys can see this. All right, so it goes out to my car, which is the 03 Corolla. Boom, there's the oxygen sensors. So this scan tool already knows obviously what car you're working on and goes out to Amazon and looks for possible parts that you'll need. And in this case, you can get both the downstream and the upstream for $33.99. But in my case, I just need the upstream because I've already replaced the downstream sensor a while back. So here, I'm going to order this guy right here, and it'll be here Wednesday. So once I order it, we'll come back to this video. So really, that's pretty sweet. That's a really nice feature. Okay, now let's look at this other possible fixes. Let me turn this up a little bit here. Other possible fixes. Okay, it says here that, whoop. So the engine intake manifold could also be an issue. So that's only a $10 gasket, which is about right. So if that O2 sensor on the upstream doesn't fix the issue and the light doesn't go off, we're going to come down here and look at this intake manifold gasket. That's a really easy fix too. I may just go and replace it anyways because I know it's never been done with 170,000 miles on this thing, and being that it's easy to get to, I think I'm just going to go ahead and order that as well on Amazon. Okay, another one is the air mass flow sensor. So I think this is kind of a neat feature here. I've never had, an app or this, anything like this that tells you what the most likely fixes are. And here it just says O2 sensors. And it's probably right. When I replace the other one, I should just replace both. But, I hate replacing things if it's not broken. So we're going to go ahead and order that O2 sensor, and then we'll come back and see if this thing is accurate or not. So we'll come back in 2 days. Okay, stay tuned. All right, guys, so we got the part from Amazon. So let's take a quick look at this. It came in just as expected, 2 days. Okay, and so the Upstream O2 sensor is right there, and it connects, the harness goes just right over there. So we'll go ahead and get this disconnected. We got to take the shield off, and that's pretty easy, and then we'll come back here. I'll show you guys what I did. All right, guys, so to take the shielding off, it's just 4 bolts. They're 12 millimeters, and there's nothing special. It comes right out. At least mine did. It wasn't rusty, thank goodness. And then I took a crescent wrench to take the O2 sensor off, and that was pretty easy as well. So there's really nothing really weird about this particular job. It's pretty straightforward, and I hope it's straightforward for you guys. The old harness is on my right, and this is the new one. The only difference here is that it's about 6 inches longer on the wiring itself. Other than that, everything looks identical. What's nice here is that the new one, it has anti-seize already on the thread, so that's nice. That's one less thing that I got to do. So now it's just a matter of taking my new sensor and dropping it right in, and we'll put the shielding on, and hopefully that will resolve our issue. So we'll come right back. All right, so now we got the O2 sensor in here. That check engine light is not going to turn off on its own. So there's 2 ways to clear this code. One, you can just go down into your tool and just delete it yourself, delete that code, and hopefully it'll all be good to go. But what I like to do is actually take the car for a nice long drive and do what's called a drive cycle. Now every car has a drive cycle, and they're all a little bit different. So if you guys don't know what that is, I recommend go on to Google and Google how to do a drive cycle on your vehicle. If you have this particular tool, 5610, it gives you the procedure on how to complete a drive cycle. So here in the menu, scroll down, and you're going to see some settings in here. Drive cycle procedure. Here we go. Okay. And basically what this is going to do is going to tell you what you need to do to complete the drive cycle. And what that basically means is that now the car should reset itself. So if something is fault, like a check engine light, and you fixed it, after completing a drive cycle, your engine, your PCM should check for these sensors again throughout the drive cycle and turn them off once it recognizes that it's working and functioning as it should. So that's what a drive cycle is. But if you don't know how to do that, then you can simply go in here into the drive cycle procedure, and we're going to look at this oxygen sensor monitor. And it'll tell you here's step 1, step 2, step 3, and so forth. So basically what you're going to do in general for most cars is you're just going to drive roughly maybe 20 to 50 miles. I know it's kind of broad, but you can drive for a while, and you want to drive between the city and on the highway, and you do not want to use cruise control. Just drive around like you normally would. Just drive normal. Don't be accelerating hard or braking hard. Just drive kind of easy, and then you have to do this multiple times. And when you do that, that's when your PCM will kind of reset itself. And that's what I'm hoping for here, is that it's going to complete that drive cycle and turn that check engine light off. Okay, so that's what we're going to do instead of just hitting the delete code on here. And yeah, let's go do that and see if that works. So let's do it. I reset the tripometer, and we've gone 3.4 miles at the moment. So we'll see if this drive cycle will reset that code. All right, so I'll keep you guys posted. All right, guys, so just came out this morning to turn on the car, take it for another drive cycle, just a quick drive around the neighborhood area, because I really, again, wanted to see if the engine, or to see if the computer turns off the check engine light, and it did. So this has been about 5 days since I started the project after installing the O2 sensor on the Upstream. And after the 6th day and 57 miles, exactly 57 miles later, the check engine light turned off. So great news. I could always turn the air code off with my 5610 Innova, but in this case, you didn't need to. Now, if you are working on somebody else's car and you want to clear the code, well, this is the way to do it, is just to delete that code from the ODB2 scanner. But again, if you don't have one, this is the way to do it. Just drive your car about 5, 6, however long it takes for that check engine light to go off. There's no magic formula or miles that you got to do this, but every car has a drive cycle, and generally, once the drive cycle is completed, your code should turn off, assuming that you fixed the issue correctly. So if you guys have any thoughts or questions, please leave your comments down below and we'll get back to you. Until next time, have a blessed day and take care.